Hey guys, welcome to my video. My name is Hariharan Jay, studying in Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering. So today I'm going to talk about human heart. The heart is a muscular organ that serves to collect deoxygenated blood from all over the body and carry it to the lung to be oxygenated and release carbon dioxide. Then it transports the oxygenated blood from lung and distribute to all over the body part. The heart pumps around 70 to 100 liters of blood in a day throughout the body. The heart is situated at the center of the chest and points slightly towards the left. On an average, the heart beats around 1 lakh times per day, that is around 3 billion beats in a lifetime. An adult heart beats about 60 to 80 times per minute, and newborn baby's heart beats faster than an adult, which is 70 to 190 beats per minute. Anatomy of heart. The heart is subdivided by septa into right and left half, and a constriction subdivides each of the organ into two cavities. The upper cavity being called the atrium and the lower cavity called the ventricle. The heart therefore consists of four chambers: right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. So, this is the muscular tissue of the heart. Endocardium. This tissue lines the inside of the heart and protects the valve and the chambers. Epicardium. This protective layer consists mostly of connectivity tissues and forms the innermost layer of pericardium. Pericardium means that is a thin protecting coat that surrounds the heart. Heart valve. The atrioventricular valve prevents backflow from the ventricle to the atria. Semilunar valve prevents backflow from the great vessel to the ventricle, such as tricuspid valve and mitral valve. For semilunar valves, it is known as aortic valves and pulmonary valves. Blood supply. Left main coronary artery carries about 80% of the flow to the heart muscle. It is a short artery that divides into two branches. Left anterior descending artery that supplies anterior two-thirds of the interventricular septum and adjoining parts of the left ventricular anterior wall. Circumflex coronary artery that supplies blood to the lateral and posterior portions of the left ventricle. And one more is right coronary artery. Branches supply the right ventricle, right atrium, and left ventricle inferior wall. Coronary arteries and veins course over the surface of the heart. Most coronary veins coalesce into the coronary sinus that runs in the left posterior atrioventricular groove and opens into the right atrium. Other small veins called Thebesian veins open directly into all four chambers of the heart. No supply. The main control of the heart resides with the medulla oblongata. There is an area called as cardio-acceleratory center or pressure center in the upper part of the medulla oblongata and an area called cardio-inhibitory center or depressor center in the lower part. Together they are known as cardio-regulatory centers since they interact to control the heart rate. The nervous supply to the heart is autonomic, consisting of both sympathetic and parasympathetic part. The sympathetic fibers arise from the pressure centers, while the sympathetic fibers arise in the depressor center. The sympathetic nervous system acts on the sinoatrial node, speeding up the depolarization rate and therefore increasing the heart rate. The parasympathetic system works in a reverse order in order to slow the heart rate down. The heart itself has a natural pacemaker, the sinoatrial node. It does not need a nervous supply to function. If you sever all the nerves to the heart, then it will continue to beat. In fact, it will beat faster than normal since there is normally a parasympathetic supply slowing the heart rate down. Conduction. Heart conduction system is like the electrical wiring of the house. It controls the rhythm and pace of the heartbeat. It includes sinoatrial nodes, which send the signal that makes your heart beat, and another is known as atrioventricular node, which carries electrical signals from the heart upper chamber to the lower one. Heart also has a network of electrical bundles and fibers. This network includes left bundle, which is known as the it is known because it sends the electric impulse to the left ventricle. Right bundle branch is known because it sends the electrical impulse to the right ventricle. Bundle of His it sends the impulses from your AV node to the Purkinje fiber. Purkinje fibers makes your heart ventricle contract and pump out of blood. Blood vessels, arteries and veins and capillaries. Arteries. These carry oxygenated blood from the heart to the rest of the body. The arteries are strong, muscular and stretchy, which help push blood through the circulatory system and also help regulate blood pressure. The arteries branches into smaller vessels, which is known as arterial veins. These carry deoxygenated blood back to the heart and they increase in size as they get closer to heart. Veins have thinner walls and arteries. Capillaries. These connect the smallest arteries to the smallest vein. They have very thin walls which allow them to exchange compounds such as carbon dioxide, water, oxygen, and waste and nutrients with surrounding tissues. The heart, blood, and blood vessels make up the circulatory or cardiovascular system. Functions of heart. Venous blood returning from the body drains into the right atrium via the HVC, IVC, and coronary sinus. The right atrium pumps blood through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. The right ventricle pumps blood through the pulmonary semilunar valve into the pulmonary trunk to be oxygenated in the lung. Blood returning from lung drains into the left atrium via the four pulmonary veins. Then left atrium pumps blood through the bicuspid, that is mitral valve into the left ventricle. Then left ventricle pumps blood